Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of Who's That Anime with your host Steve and Colin. We're talking about Paprika, this
The
flavour of crisps.
spiciest. Yeah. Oh, I love paprika crisps. Particularly Lidl. Lidl did like a bag of paprika crisps for the longest time. Oh,
Oh,
they were so good.
little eh?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to
But
move
they
myself
got
up a
really
bit.
expensive.
Whoop. They got really expensive. That's because they knew they were good.
Yeah, they started out like 80 pence a bag and they went up to like £1.90. So
Ah, I mean, that's what you can find for crisps these days, eh?
oh yeah.
I
Everything's expensive now.
I had Taylor's Ridge Cut Potato Crisps, cheddar and onion flavour. A thick cut crunch like no other.
That's fair. That's Mackey's, right?
That's what who bought over Mackey's, I believe. I don't know. They bought
Yeah.
Mackey's or they decided to change the name.
They bought the crisps from Mackey's, I believe. But the ice cream is still Mackey's,
Oh,
I think.
apparently Taylor Snacks is limited in Dublin.
Huh, I did not know that.
They got a Scottish thistle in their logo,
That's interesting. Well, I guess
but
like
they're in Ireland.
Mackey's is a Scottish company.
Yeah, they were made just up the road from you
Mm.
in Bonnie
Well,
Earl.
wait, uh did they get significant tax breaks by being in Dublin? Which was
I
my
don't
main
know.
thought.
It's possible. I mean, I'm not going to say that farmers aren't don't know the ways around the market like anyone else does.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm not
But
going to
yeah,
say
paprika.
that is
It's a
what
flavor,
it is a flavor, a spice.
and it's a really difficult movie to watch.
Is it?
Yeah.
No way.
I watched it took like I had to watch it over 2 nights. So I was exhausted.
Hmm.
It may have been the tiredness, but man, I had a real tough time keeping up.
Yeah, it's something, man. It's got a lot going in it,
Well,
and
we should say, I suppose, it's Satoshi Kon, so we've already done Perfect Blue and Tokyo Godfathers,
yeah,
which I don't know if you noticed made a little cameo
yeah, it
at the end
did.
of the movie. Yeah.
It did.
Um, I yeah, like I didn't dislike it. I just found it real tough
I mean,
to know what was happening at any given point.
you kind of gotta watch it with your senses wide
I
awake,
mean,
and you're trying to watch it as tired and distracted. I think you're gonna have
I mean,
a more difficult time.
I've watched it before, but I also say I've watched it before. I think I watched it the year it came out, so
Yeah, I watched it about 10 years ago now, at least.
oh gosh.
Yep.
Well, I should also say as well as if you hear some sort of noise in the background, that's because it's raining madly outside at the moment.
I did not hear any of that.
No, do you not get any of that? Cool. The
No,
noise suppression is working.
I mean I got my window open and there's cars going by.
Oh man, don't get any cars.
No car sounds. It's great. I mean, you live in the back end of nowhere,
That is
so
true. There are very few cars driving around my place.
I would imagine there wouldn't really be going into your cul-de-sac either, unless they're
No,
parking up.
except
Yep.
the milk deliveries. They happen about 1:15 in the morning.
Yeah, well, they got. Do you get milk delivered?
I do not.
No.
No.
Got to support your local dairies, man.
With the amount of milk that I go through with the kids, that I can't afford to support the local dairies and me.
Yeah, yeah, man. Get it delivered. You don't even need to go out.
I'm going out anyway.
No, you might not need to go out. It might just be to go out to get milk.
I mean, maybe that's very rare.
I mean, so that I don't know. I don't get milk delivered either. Oh, that's because I haven't got around to it yet. I was going to get it delivered to my old place, which is a flat, but then they were like, "Nope, we don't deliver to flats."
And you went, well, fuck you. This is why no one buys milk from you.
Yeah, pretty much. Uh, but I think they took over the dairy um, in Forfar.
May have been a mistake if they did that pre-COVID, and then oh god,
No, no, it was
our
just
business
after.
is dying.
Just
Oh,
after
just
COVID.
after. Wow, that's an even bigger. Whoa, why would you
No,
do that?
because it's still a pretty thriving business.
Is it though? Because like I keep getting told how badly they're doing, and that's why they're constantly leaving leaflets going, "Please, milk."
I mean, I don't know. It's just more. I think it's a better service. I think it's better. To be
Well, I
better
mean, it's
for the
better service in
farmers.
that yeah, yeah.
Farmers get their price of milk, and
To
you
be
don't.
clear though, you also do not support this.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
I wasn't. I asked them about it. It's just an insane amount of money for milk every week.
Yeah. How much are they going to charge you?
It was like £9 a delivery.
See, that's delivery charges though.
It is, but even if I pay the overpriced milk at the local spar, I'm a 10-minute walk, and I'm still coming in at less than 50% of that.
Um, I don't know. You get to
I get
recycle
why some people
bottles.
do it.
Is
Sorry,
to deliver glass bottles.
they do, and then they take the glass bottles away.
Yeah, see, and they recycle your bottles and reuse them.
I recycle my plastic. Well, I
You
put
put,
my plastic in the plastic bin, and then it gets taken away to be burned somewhere
I
that's not
mean,
the UK.
that's that's the
How
problem, man.
recycling works, right?
Plastic. Plastic's the bane of the world.
I just need to make sure that I'm fully microplasticked up.
Microplastics. Oh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
anyway, Paprika.
Yeah.
Why
Uh
did you get into milk?
traffic noise, milkman noise. There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Reverse
Traffic.
engineered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we've covered Perfect Blue and Tokyo Godfathers. I definitely I'm fairly confident you and anyone else who's watched this will notice the parallels to Perfect Blue in this movie. They are numerous
Mhm.
in style, in messaging, in questioning. Um, I mean, the this movie is gorgeous to look at. Like just
Mhm.
everything about like the animation is stunning, and just the overall look and feel of everything in this movie is absolutely outstanding. Um, I would argue, I suppose it's less consistent than Perfect Blue.
Oh, it's a different movie.
No, but I mean, like, I think one of the like before we like start talking about the movie, but I think one of the huge differences because I'm pretty sure I gave Perfect Blue a 10 out of 10, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
Like, this is a
that's your
great
jam.
film, and this is also my jam. I think it just struggles to find a foothold and just feels a little bit all over the place, which I know thematically is quite consistent because that's kind of the idea.
Hmm.
But I think even with that, it's still quite all over the place.
It is all over the place. That is like, I mean, yeah, it's definitely like, what are we doing now? Oh, we're doing
Yeah,
this again. What we're doing now?
every every, every single time the scene changes, I'm like, where are we? Dream, dream, flashback, dream,
Reworld,
actual conversation, dream,
reworld.
dream.
Well,
Yeah,
to so shall we just get into it?
yeah, go for it, man. Start us off.
Because the very start just kind of gives you the gist of how what's going on, kind of thing. Because
Yeah,
it starts with a mini clown car.
so creepy.
Yeah, and then like really small, like smaller than any physical form anyone can fit into.
Yup,
And then a big giant clown comes out of it.
he does.
And then I think it cuts to the detective.
It does. He is, I think, like seems like he's having a conversation over a headset, like an earpiece or something like that, trying to arrange some sort of sting in real time.
Yeah, he's like, he's out there. Be careful, keep your eyes. And then he's standing on the stadium in the big top, big
Yeah,
tent,
the big top.
big top, and and then one of the clowns come up to him and he goes, "Be careful, he's a traitor." And then it goes up more, uh, talks to another one, and they say, "Oh, be careful, he's looking for you. That guy's looking at you." And he says, "Oh, don't worry, he's a friend." And that
Yeah,
he
he's an old
talks,
friend.
and he's talking about the host,
Yeah, the ringmaster.
the ringmaster. That's the word. Who then goes,
He's in the middle.
yeah, and he says, "It's okay, he's a friend." And then suddenly he goes, "Ta-da! Look at this person!" And it has a spotlight on him. And then suddenly it switches to a curtain, and a cage falls down, and he's in this cage, looking at all these people. And then everyone goes, "There he is!" And they all run towards him.
Oh, even better, is it not the figure that we thought he was on the stairs who points at him, who's now in a cage and goes, "Look, there he is. Get him." And you're like, okay,
Mhm. And then
okay.
and then the people who run towards him all have his face,
Yeah, even the little girl
eating the little
and the woman.
and the
It's
woman.
it's pretty horrifying.
And then he gets sucked into the floor of the cage,
He does.
and he is this where Paprika appears, the titular
She
character?
appears at this point later,
No, but she's in his
uh,
arms when he's swinging through.
in the Tarzan bit. Yeah,
Yeah, which is right. Is that
the
not like
next
that?
bit.
Is that not when he gets sucked through the floor? He goes into Tarzan.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it is. It goes straight into Tarzan, and yeah, it's he now has the titular Paprika in his arms as his Jane.
Yeah, swinging through the trees, and then they fall, and then they're in a, a mystery, murder mystery sleuth type movie where he's getting
He's getting choked out.
choked out by some shoestring or something, and then she's in the carriage on a train. No, she's on a train.
Yeah,
She's getting
on
the
a train
carriage,
now.
and he gets, and then she saves him by smacking him over the head with a bag, and then do they then
Then
go
it's like a
to the
photo
what?
shoot.
Oh, there's the photo shoot. Yeah, it goes to the photo shoot because they repeat this scene quite a lot through the movie,
Yeah,
but it
they
changes
do.
slightly because
He's also the photographer and also the person who's being taken photos of.
yeah, and
But
then
then it cuts to the hotel. I think you're right, where he sees the person falling
because
forward and
yeah,
in slow motion.
yeah, Paprika also hits a person in the photo shoot overhead with
Oh, that's
a
right.
guitar. It's like, yeah, do it. That's great.
That's great.
And then yeah, hotel guy falling forward. He's looking at a guy on the other side of the corridor from the guy falling forward
Hmm.
who runs through the fire exit, and then he tries to run, but then he gets caught up and swallowed into a carpet, and then falls, and then whites out basically because they
Yep.
got a white background, and he just falls and goes ah, and then they wake up in a
Yep.
bed with Paprika
Yep.
next to him, talking about the
Yeah.
DC Mini, which is a thing that can enter your allow people to enter your brain and uh,
It,
get your dreams.
yeah. So you mentioned this when I messaged you, and you're like I was saying, it's like, wow, this is far more all over the place than I remember. And you're like, yeah, it's really Inception-y. And you're like, yeah, it absolutely is. It would be very difficult, I think, to say that there was no inspiration to Inception from
Well,
Paprika.
well, that's the thing is Inception not like a bunch of novels.
I don't think so, is it?
I thought it came from novels.
Oh no.
I just don't know when. Or I'm thinking of different
Uh,
movies.
uh, no, it is not based on any other source other than the script.
Oh, okay. When was it made?
2011,
This is 2008.
2006.
Well, that's 5 years, yeah. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
although
it, it,
there's also a movie called The Cell in 2000s, directed by Tarsem Singh, weirdly starring Jennifer Lopez, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Vince Vaughn.
alright.
That is about an FBI agent who uses experimental technologies to go into the dreams of a serial killer who is in a coma.
No, I think I remember that, yeah. Ah,
So,
uh,
like, it probably goes further back, but it definitely feels like Inception took a few beats from this. Like, there's some city stuff in it as well that I think it maybe took a little bit of.
I'm just wondering what that noise is outside. For
What, for you or for me?
me,
Oh, okay.
it might be a bus. Didn't sound like a bus, though. I mean, it sounded like a
No, no
lawnmower.
bus I've ever heard.
Yeah, just,
Uh,
anyway, yeah, so, but then you go back to Lane. Lane's kind of got the same feel of, like, merging realities.
totally. Like, I mean, these are not new concepts. I think
No.
it's just like there's like some specificity to it, particularly as like we go through the story. Because right now the uh right now the sort of thing we're talking about is going into someone's dream to try and it's not even to change it so much. It sounds like more to try and help them interpret what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
At least
so
that's from the kind of conversation between the what's his name, the police dude,
Konosawa,
Kanekawa.
Konakawa. There you go.
Yeah, he and Paprika are talking, and it sounds like she's trying to help him reconcile what the dream means and like how she can like figure out what the interpretation might be because it seems like because she's asking questions specifically about like who was the person
Hmm.
following is like oh that's the victim from the murder case I'm working right now,
Yeah,
and it's like oh well maybe it's something to do with that.
yeah. He's having trouble sleeping essentially, and he's there, which is he's been given some stuff, and then Paprika kind of gets up, walks out, gets on her bike, and drives, and it turns in. Oh, she gives a card to the chief with it says
Yes.
Paprika and
Yep.
some date and time, and then it kind of turns to the titular character of Paprika, and then they got the weird ass tune, which it's kind of cool. I like the tune.
It's a good tune, and also, did you know? Did you notice this entire sequence where she's like melting into different people and different
Yeah,
scenarios? But like she like
yeah,
catches up with a bike, and then she's on the bike and stuff like that, and she's doing all this like stopping time and skipping across the road.
yeah.
Uh, all very reminiscent of that chase scene in Perfect Blue, like at the end. like the skipping in
Oh
slow
yeah,
motion and just kind of like going through the city. Like it reminded
yeah.
me of that to a great degree.
But
Um,
yeah, so
looks
this
cool though.
yeah, exactly. It's I didn't really think about it, but yeah, you're right now. You're saying it, and yeah. So this is the bit. This is the bit where you think that she's they've woken up. Kind of, they have to be kind of close, waking up together type thing.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think at one point she wakes up with a red dress, and then he's in
yep,
the bathrobe, and then she's in the bathrobe, and then she gets out the bathrobe to go out the door, and it's like
yeah.
what's happened there? Hey,
Where the fuck are we? Is this a continuity error or is this done deliberately? And since it's Satoshi Kon, I feel it's probably more done deliberately
hmm.
to just confuse you.
I think this the whole movie is all about that. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Jeez.
you're right. She's going through this motion of like jumping into seeing a bike. Now she's on the bike. Uh, driving along. She's driving by a truck with a girl in a rocket as a logo on the
Yeah,
side, and she
that's
jumps on
right.
that, and now she's flying through the sky with the rocket, and it's
Yep.
like,
Now
wait,
she's the
what?
rocket.
Yeah,
Towards the end of the sequence, she sort of catches up with a woman in a car, and
yeah,
they kind of line up, and
mhm,
she just merges into her. But it doesn't change to her look. It's just this woman,
yeah.
uh,
Just
who we find out is
Chiba,
Chiba. Is her name? Yeah,
yeah, Chiba,
Achan.
yeah, or Achan, yeah, and she then gets, I think, gets to her place, and
Yes,
she opens the lift door where this ridiculously huge person is stuck in the lift.
I was looking at this, and he started to like twist his head around. I was like, "What is happening?" And I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be really bad." And it's like, "Oh yeah, wait, he's a character."
Yeah, yeah. And he goes, I'm in a bit of a bind," and then so she says like, "Oh, all right, here," and starts trying to yank him out. And says, "That's
Yeah,
not what I mean." And then I think it cuts to this point where they're calling the chief of operations. So she's like a member of a lab team who's developed this the DC Mini.
she's like the head of that team that's
Mm-hmm.
working on the DC Mini. Um, and she's working with
Tobita,
Tokita, who's the guy who is in the elevator, and
the
then
large man.
the large dude,
Yeah,
and then Doctor Shima is the other
yeah.
guy, the old dude.
Who's like
Uh,
I think the proper is like she's like the head of the department on the team, and then he's like the head, or he's the head of the department. And she's head of the team.
yeah, he's the chief.
Yeah, they
He's
call
the
him the
chief of
chief.
the department. Yeah,
Basically, call him chief. Uh,
yeah,
and he's like a small guy with glasses.
yes. He's sort of he looks like a rounded out what's his name from Dragon Ball Z?
Oh wait, right? What's his name?
Roshi, Master Roshi.
No,
It looks like someone stretched him out.
no, I don't look like Master Roshi, man.
Eh,
I thought you were going to go with the guy from Ranma, the old Kirby.
no. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fair,
Um.
fair.
Anyway, so he's there, and so they phone him and go, "All right, someone stole this. Better not tell the chairman." Blah blah
So,
blah.
holy shit, this is so bad.
Yeah, this is bad. So we need to get terrorists have captured this machine, and it's not locked down properly, so they can enter any cycle
Yeah, there's nothing
machinery.
protecting there's nothing protecting the kit from being used to its full extent uh, at
Yeah,
all. I don't know if they know it's terrorists because they said that no one has acted with it yet.
yeah.
They're
They
concerned that it might be.
yeah, they were like they were saying it's terrorists and stuff. So they're talking to him, and then they go to the work and meet up with him, and then talk to him as he walks up to his office, and he goes into his office, and then there's the chairman in his wheelchair, like the guy from
I
Final
like,
Fight,
holy shit. I just,
just
every time, it's like,
just waiting for
oh,
the crossbow to come out, and he's just firing crossbows at you.
every time. It's like, oh, hello, Mr. Chairman. It's like, he's in a chair. It's just like, every time.
Do you
Every
think
time.
they use the chair aspect just to symbolize that he's a chairman?
Absolutely not, but it is where my mind went to
It's,
immediately because I'm a man of simple understanding who is like, they keep saying the word chair and he's in a chair. That was it. It's like, that's how my head worked. And it's like, well, okay.
I
It's a bit
mean,
on the nose, but sure, the characterization, whatever.
there's no other reason he's in a chair.
No, none.
I mean,
None
in fact,
whatsoever.
he's seems to be paralyzed from the waist down.
He does appear to not be able to utilize his legs
Yeah.
much in a sort of a Charles Xavier type fashion.
Oh shit! Maybe he's the
Yeah,
character that went an evil Charles Xavier.
he has a little bit of an evil Charles Xavier because he's the head honcho of the whole thing, the whole institute, right? So,
Yeah,
uh, yeah,
yes.
like he's a bit like a an evil Charles Xavier.
Good save.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
evil.
yeah. He's evil.
Spoiler alert, he's a dick.
Ah, well, you can't even figure that from the straight up because he's basically like going, I'm the head of this institute, and you're meddling with things with science, and science is bad. We shouldn't be doing science. Science and technology is bad. Don't do that. Is
I
his rhetoric?
constantly
It's like,
like literally every time he talks, you're like, oh, you don't seem you don't seem on board with this. Almost like you might benefit from a machine going missing. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, you're a bit paranoid there, man. I didn't come to that
Yeah,
conclusion
yeah.
straight away.
Oh, I
Um,
immediately was like, oh yeah, fuck this guy. But then again, I have watched this before, so I was like, oh yeah,
I've
this
watched it
guy.
before. I've forgotten it. It was he's also pale, very pale, and ill
Yes,
looking. Um,
he does look rather sickly, and he's just very fickle. I can't remember if it's at this point where if it's Shima who's like, oh yeah, this guy just kind of exists to make my life hell. He doesn't like anything I do ever.
uh, I think that
Like, he says it
maybe,
several times. I'm sure. Like, I'm sure he says that multiple times. He's like, he's never happy.
yeah, yeah. I think that was before they meet the German, but maybe on the way in, it's like, yeah, better not tell the German. Let's not break the news to him yet.
Yeah.
Let's work out who has it first. And
Yes,
then he's
and
like,
then say something.
and then he's there going, this thing's gone missing, and I don't like it. These terrorists. Bah! And then
Yeah.
suddenly, in the middle of the conversation, the chief starts spouting nonsense, and then goes for a run through the window.
He just goes, Yahoo! And like shoulder checks a guy, and yeah, like head first out the window. You're
Yeah,
like, oh, well, that was a short lived character. But then it turns out, no, he survived.
he survived, and he's he's unconscious, and they're
Yeah.
monitoring his dreams, and he's like in like a big chair covered in dolls and
Yeah.
traveling through the desert.
A lot of fucking dolls in this movie.
Oh, there's full of dolls, and then do we not meet the other member of the team, Onsai?
Osanai.
Osanai?
So, uh, if I remember correctly, uh, what happens is he abandons ship through the window, and then they go into his dream.
Mhm.
Uh, and it's, yeah, like you say, it's like this random parade of objects. There's like a fridge, there's a light bulb, it's just some stuff doing some things. Um,
Oh, they don't go
and
into the
then
dream. They're just monitoring it from afar.
oh,
The
are they
machine
not
will
in
let.
it? They're just looking. Oh, they're just looking.
Yeah,
Okay, this is again how I find it difficult. It's like, oh no, we're just watching it on the monitor this time.
yeah. They're just watching it. This one, because then at this point, I think they're talking, and then one of the dolls turn around, like the a wee doll, a wee doll in
We
like
doll.
in
Yeah, that's right.
a geisha.
Yeah,
Just
I
yeah.
it is like a little sort. It's yeah, like this sort of I don't know if it's a kimono. I don't want to be like disrespectful, but it's a robe, a
Yeah,
Japanese robe, and the sort
yeah,
of uh kind of almost like bowl doll cut black haircut.
yeah. Just kind of standard, kind of like creepy
Yeah,
doll type thing that you see in all the things.
and even worse in this example because it has a man's face, just an old dude's face.
Well, an old-ish dude's face, and he starts spouting gibberish as well at them, and they go, "Wait,
He does.
that's Himuro."
Yeah, we know that guy.
Yeah, he's like
Uh,
Thingy's assistant,
he's oh fuck, Tokita, his
Tokyo, his
assistant,
assistant. Yeah,
who
uh,
has apparently not been in work for a little while.
yeah, but he didn't think anything of it in the sense that he kind of generally gets obsessed with something and has no communication, just like
Yeah,
his mentor,
his
who's
boss.
yeah, who's his
He's
Tokita.
a fucking lunatic as well. Um,
Um, yeah, and then they go. So all three of them, Onsai, Toki, and Chibuya, go
well,
to.
we should mention, I suppose, is that the whole point of this is that they now think, oh shit, this must have been an inside job. He's done it.
Uh, no, they thought that straight on, pretty much.
Did they think that?
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
they? Because, like you
yeah.
say, they were talking about terrorists and shit.
Oh, I know, but they were thinking that in is from the conversation. They had the conversation, and they all. So you think this is inside? And Chibuya's like, unfortunately.
Uh,
But
well, yeah,
then,
and
they think it's him. Is gone there. So you go to his house,
yeah,
and his house they pick the lock and go in, and his house is filled in weird dolls, and he has a picture of him and Kita where the face is cut out, and Takita's face is cut out and put onto a
doesn't look
robot,
good. Doesn't look good at all, does it?
and it's a sign that says "Help me."
Yeah, it doesn't look real good.
And then Chiba is in his bedroom or something, and she's
Yes.
looking at the bed underneath the bed or something, and then a weird doll appears out the cupboard and stares at her. And then she goes down, and she goes, "I'm okay." She opens the cupboard and finds a ladder down the way,
Yes.
and then Paparika kind of appears and goes, "It's dangerous. You shouldn't be doing this." And she says, "Nah, it's cool. I'll be all right." She goes down into this, and then down the ladders, out a door into a fairground, a theme park
Yeah.
of sorts. And then she walks in and then sees the doll on a wee model train, and she follows that, and then she finds
Yeah.
it on some steps, and she's going to jump over some barriers to get to it. And then suddenly reality kind of kicks in, and she's about to jump off the balcony,
Off the balcony. Shit.
and Onsai saves her
Yes.
by grabbing
That's
on
right.
the arm, and it's just like, "Oh right." And then they kind of cut from there into a restaurant where she suffered from anexophobia or something at that point, and they're starting to think that
Uh,
whoever's used the machine can be affected by the dreams.
yes. It gets, yeah, it's kind of difficult to wade through a lot of this at a certain point. Uh,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah,
that's
now they understand. Wait, is the bit where they're monitoring?
the chief.
Yeah, the chief's okay,
Uh huh.
and then they're in the fairground.
Mm.
She nearly jumps out the window
Off the balcony.
off the balcony. Sorry,
Mm.
and then what is it about? I'm sure this is the bit with Himuru, like going off the reservation and taking the plunge?
No, no,
Is that not this bit?
no,
Because
because
that's from a Ferris wheel, isn't it?
yeah, but that's later when they actually go when they work out where he is essentially
Oh
because they haven't worked out. So they're in
yeah.
the
Because
restaurant.
they have to go into his dream first.
They go into the chief stream, yeah, but they're in a yeah. So they're in this restaurant and basically discussing things. And what's his name? The big dude just eats.
Tokita. Yeah,
Yeah,
they just like who ordered the and he just puts his hand up and
yeah,
like they're having a conversation while this poor waitress just comes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth with different foods.
yeah. And I'm pretty sure Chiba tells him, yeah, well, you got the problem of overeating type thing to him.
Yeah,
Uh, and then they go back to the chief. I think they get a call about the chief or something, and they go
as he
back.
wakes up.
No, he doesn't quite wake up because you need to send Paprika in to wake him up.
So
They
we
have
do.
that weird, awkward dream.
Yes.
So basically, they go back and they basically Paprika goes into Chief's dream,
Hmm.
and basically Kimuro's there trying to go, no, I won't do that. Can't be doing that. And she's like, nope, that's fine. I'm the master of all dreams. It's like, no, you're not. I got this. And then she wakes up the chief by enlarging him until he
Yeah,
bursts.
yeah, because he's like sitting in the big float chair, and she just like dissolves through him.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
made
that is
him,
pretty gross.
and he had like a happy face on him when he exploded.
He did. He loved
Mm.
it.
Yeah, he loved it. Because he was like, oh, you're like the merchant girl that I saved or something.
That's right.
And she turns
That's
into
right.
this. And then
I'm
she was
glad
like,
to see you're doing okay.
yeah. And then she's like, yeah, I can help you here. And then he wakes up and he's like, right, okay, I'm all better now. I've barely got a scratch on me. I'm going to jump out the bed and we're going to go talk to the thing. And then Chiba's there is like, no, don't be doing that because as long as you're as long as you're in here, you can't vote on the board meeting that you're a part of, and therefore you can
Yeah,
save the project because they're going to vote
that's right.
to destroy it.
Because if he stays in there, they can't vote to do anything yet.
Yeah, yeah. And then I think it cuts to another scene where there was a bunch of employees walking around saying, "Oh, he's great, we're great," and marching. They just like blindly marching to their
It's like a dude and a woman behind her, and they're just
yeah,
yelling like weird shit about like everyday randomness.
yeah. The milk in the fridge is gone sour. It's great. Some weird metaphor. I don't know. There were like haikus or anything
They,
stupid.
they've left a trail of destruction behind them as well.
Yeah, and then I think at that point the chairman basically says, "You got to destroy the stuff. We can't be
Well,
having any more of
he at
this."
that point he's like, fuck the fact that you're not able to come and vote. We're not dealing like this thing is just we're putting an all out ban on the use of this device.
Yeah,
Um.
and you see
So yeah,
Takita just like taking equipment away and destroying it, and then Onside basically asking, "What you dealing with this?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't think this is recyclable."
yeah. He's
As
like, this must suck, and he's like, yeah, some of this I don't even know how to recycle some of this stuff.
yeah,
I just found out this stuff isn't recyclable. How annoying.
yeah, that's pretty much his thing. And then he's like a bit he's like, type thing with the guy. And then Chiba
Yeah,
Summers is like, it's cool, he's a genius. It's alright. He's a
Yep.
bit of a child, but
He's
he's a
he's a
genius.
he's a child, as you can tell by his T-shirt that he's now wearing.
Yeah, he takes his lab coat off and reveals a robot on the back of his
Yep.
t-shirt, which is the robots that Shiba seen in that
Yep.
weird dream sequence where she went down and saw these. I was like, "Where's that?" I was like, "Oh, this is the
That's
childhood
right.
theme park that
Um,
that was part of." I talked about Hero all the time. So and then they drove
yeah.
there, and it's a rundown theme park, and then he goes and asks her, "Oh, where do you think Himmer will be?" I was like, "I don't know. That's why I'm searching." It's like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah. Good point.
good point."
A lot of
And
sarcasm in this movie.
yeah, yeah. And then basically they find the doll sitting on the stairs to a ride, the Ferris wheel maybe, with her
Yeah, I
hand
guess
in
the
the
Ferris
air,
wheel.
going, "Hey, it's here."
just just pointing up.
I don't think it was funny. That's why it was raised with his hand, like
Oh, I
waving.
thought it was like, look up, and then she goes, "What?"
Yeah, I think Paprika might have jumped in at that point.
Yeah.
Uh, who's, by the way, is Chiba's alter ego in the dream
I,
world.
I was gonna say like it's kind of heavily implied from the moment that she merges with Chiba in that car. Like you just think maybe initially it's like just a transition, but yeah, it's basically her alter ego that she uses in other people's dreams.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Well, I was gonna say we also do know at this point that the work she's doing, like with the detective to sort of assess his dreams and things like that, is not. It's strictly off the books. Like there, it's
yeah,
totally illegal.
yeah. Is it? Is do we know that? We
Yeah,
might
because they
know that.
have a
Yeah,
phone call before this bit where like I think it's the chief and the detective who are, and he's like, yeah, she's quite something, that Paprika, and it's like, yeah, just don't mention that shit because
yeah.
we're not allowed to do it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah. Because they were childhood friends or friends from uni.
Yeah,
Uh,
they've known each other since university.
yeah, and that's why he he let them into it. But I think that phone call might have originated from the fact that the brainwashed employees of basically walked in the road and got run over.
That's right. Yeah, they get fucking run over.
So that's when the chairman's like, "Yep, yeah, we can't be having that."
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right. But it was illegal before. Like, of course, they weren't supposed to be doing it in the first place. But now he's like, yeah, it's extra illegal now.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
don't do it.
and then so they end up having an interview with the chief over the incident and says, "Oh right,
Mm,
yeah, yeah, it's about that machine. Oh yeah, it's just an accident. I get you. I totally understand." And then Chiba comes in and Chiba's um the detective's like, "Oh wait, I know you," and the kind of that, and then he's basically trying to sound smart in front of the genius
hmm
thing, but quietly looking at Chiba all the time.
Yeah,
Where Chiba just basically goes, "I thought you were talking to the Tokita."
yeah. It's polite. It's polite to look at people when you speak to them.
Yes, I don't. I don't know. Did you get? Did your version dubbed or
Mine
subbed?
was dubbed.
Yeah, mine was subbed. So the sub of it.
It's always interesting to get the different perspectives because, like,
Yeah,
obviously, like the context is similar. It's just kind of said in a different way.
yeah. So in that scene, it was suggested that she basically. I thought you were talking to Kito.
Akita.
Yeah, and it's like, I yeah, and then it kind of ends at that point, and then the
Yeah.
chief and the detective are walking out, talking about stuff, and then the chairman appears from behind a bush and goes, "Ah, you pesky scientists, ruin it all," and
He appears from behind a bush.
and the detective goes, "I see you have it, but bad as well,"
Oh, jeez.
and then I think the detective goes, "Oh, by the way, is Chiba Paparika?" And Chief then just coyly just like changes the subject to something else. Can't remember what he changes it to.
No, I can't remember either. But yes, the answer
He,
is yes.
he doesn't say. He just goes
No, he
both.
doesn't.
Um, oh, I think he goes based on this. Oh, yeah. I think I sometimes I wonder if we can just go back to our college days where we talked about what we're going to do for the future.
That's right. He says, yeah, sometimes I wonder.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
You also learn at some point. I can't remember where, but apparently Paprika cured him of his depression.
That's right. Yeah.
The chief's depression all those
It doesn't
years.
say how, doesn't really elaborate on it. It's just like kind of passively mentioned.
Yeah, I can trust you because you cured my depression. Something like that.
Yeah. Very odd.
So yeah, and then so anyway, we find Himuro because I don't think we mentioned that Himuro falls from the thing and then kind of like lands, but he's not dead either. He's just
No, he
comatose.
takes a he takes a very tall dive off the top of the Ferris wheel after the
Yeah,
doll's like, "Hey,
yeah.
look!" And yeah, but
So
he's fine. Like most people, I think like what we've discovered in the world of Paprika is that people falling from high places just doesn't have the same impact that it does to people in real life.
no, he kind of bounce.
They're mostly fine.
Yeah, well, and
Mostly.
well, he's coming to us, and they're basically talking about trying to go into his dream because he's got the dream now where he's in the chair with all the dolls, and he's on the throne, and it's
Yeah.
traveling through the forest now, I believe.
Yes.
So we're like, okay, we're going to go into this dream and get it sorted out, but Chiba gets called away because as the detective's driving away from the lab and he's in his car, don't know, has a heart attack? Anxiety?
Yeah, that's like that's the thing is that it's really unclear because he seems like obviously he is then a part of the movie for the rest of it. But
Yeah.
yeah, he has what is at least it looks like a heart attack because he starts clutching his chest while he's like he comes to a standstill in his car and then just kind of goes like and
Yeah,
then
and
it just
then
like does it like white out?
yeah, it just wipes out and cuts away from it. And I think
Super weird.
yeah, so Chiba and Tokito were going to go into the mind of um Himuro uh to see what the deal is. Um and they have a conversation. Chiba and once I have a conversation basically about you got to control the guy. He's a bit of a child. It's like yeah, I know. I'll go and speak to him. And he's like building like a new DC thing, and she says that's not the thing that you should be trying to do right now. We should be doing something else. And they have a bit of a tiff, really.
Yeah,
And then she gets called away, and then he's like, "Well, okay, you're right. I need to focus on the things that's happening in the world and not the things I want to do." Type thing. So he goes and jumps into Kimuro's mind,
yep,
and he goes in the dream, and he's a robot, like you saw earlier, essentially.
that's
In
right. The big gold square boxy robot.
yeah, on this mound, and he basically finds out it's not Humero. It's just a shell of him. It's like, oh wait, you're not Humero. And then it gets
That's
captured. It
right.
gets transformed and becomes part of the dream himself.
Yeah, so this is the bit like I was talking about earlier on because like right in the start we're very much talking about the idea that you can go into someone's dreams. It looks like you can impact them, but
Mm.
the use of it was like more like assessment and trying
Yeah,
to help interpret. But here, like we have a full on the person here isn't actually home,
yeah,
uh, and they're being fully occupied by other sentient people existing within his physical form. So
Yeah.
now we're getting into like possessor territory, which is a horror movie from like 3 years ago
All right. Okay. Uh,
about a person who assassinates people by uh possessing people within like proximity and making them act in a way that makes it look as if it's an isolated incident.
all right. Okay. I mean, yeah. I don't know about. I think they basically said that he's used because the other thing with when they found the humoral, they found that the many DCs kind of embedded into his head, and they had to like surgically remove it.
Yeah,
Uh, so they think he just overused the machine and has lost his consciousness of some sort. But then,
yeah, but they're still using him as a vessel.
yeah, essentially the vessel to influence people. So then, so Paprika goes and helps the doctor, and they do the whole scene again, going through the hotel and stuff, and or is it? I don't know. There's a bit where he ends up going to a website. The detective goes to the website that she gives him
Oh,
on the
this is the,
card.
the the bar. This is the
Yeah,
bar place. Yeah,
yeah. So he goes to the so he types in the website, and it's a bar, and like he kind of finds himself in the bar and sits down in a
yeah,
thing and talking to Parika, and then they go back through the dreams again because she was like, let's go and watch a movie. You like movies, right? And you're like, no, I don't like movies. I don't like
I
them.
hate movies.
I hate movies. I don't like them. And then she basically just walks out, does her own thing, walks
Yeah,
out to the bar, and he follows her out the bar, and then suddenly he's in like a street with all these cinemas with movies playing, and says, "Oh, what movie you want to go and see?" And it's like Tarzan and the serial killer one,
yeah,
uh, and all the things that's been in his room before, and he's like, "No, I don't like them."
yeah.
And then she disappears.
She goes away, and he basically is left there because this is after
Yeah,
he's had the heart attack or whatever it is. Like we're not
yeah.
really sure. I don't know if it's ever made particularly clear what happened there, but he ends up in a bit where he's now just sat at the bar, like physically at the bar, talking to the two bartenders.
No, that's a bit later.
Um, is that later? I thought that was like now.
No, that's a
Jeez.
bit later. That's when basically Paprika basically I think Chiba then the chief summons Chiba back to the lab
Yes.
because or no. No, so the scene we're
No.
in at the moment, right, is the scene that they're in the moment is in the dream that we're talking about. The chief's dream. And
Yes.
he is basically saying, I don't like movies, and then they go through the scene of the thing, and they go through all the movies scenes. Oh no, there's a bit where the enters a lift, but is that later? That might be later. Like I say, it's a lot of repeats, and it all goes in middle.
Chronology, like between the repeating like sequences and the randomness, chronology is incredibly difficult to kind
Keep
of figure out with this one.
keep going, because I just did it on
Oh,
the top of my head. So anyway, yes, he does that, and they end up sitting in a cinema watching
hmm
watching a movie, and then he's talking about like art directions and film techniques.
that's right. And he's like really into it,
Yeah,
very detailed knowledge. And she's like, "Oh, you seem to know a lot about this stuff."
yeah, yeah. And then at that point, Himura's dream comes in, and Takita. is in the dream with him. The dreams start to merge, and they come into
Yes,
the
that's
thing,
right.
and they see Takeda in his robot farm talking about stuff, and it's just like, no, I must push forward, must keep going, and it's like, all right, okay. So then I think she basically leaves the detective in the dream, and then
Yes.
do they leave the dream world?
It's difficult to say.
Because all I remember is, I mean, I only watched like an hour ago. All I remember, 2 hours ago now. All I remember is this happens, and they're watching the thing, and then he's kind of left in this like weird virtual dream world on the website. She
Yes.
leaves, and I think she goes back into the real world to come cheaper to tell the chief that Tokitas went in on his own and we need to go and do something. Because then I think Chief and her are on a bed in the lab going into Himuro's mind. She finds out
Yes.
that Himuro isn't
Is the shell.
it's just a shell, and then it
And
kind
they
of
at
dictated that
that
way.
point, did they not also find out who the true
Yeah, yeah. So
villain is?
they find out the true villains are
Villain. Yes, because
because
it's not just Inu. Is it Inuai? Inuai, the
not
head of the whole institute, the chairman.
not the chairman and
Yeah.
the
Uh,
the assistant.
Osanai.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, I like this kind of thing. This seems pretty cool in the sense that she goes in there and finds out that, oh wait, no, he's just a shell, and then I don't know what happens exactly, but she does something and she turns into the fairy and starts flying through like a
She's
cocoon
getting
or so,
chased.
or some sort. No, not that.
Is she not?
I don't think so. Not at that point, because she goes through like a actual
Oh,
shell of Humero and then
that's right.
appears in this other forest air, and they see Onsai is there. No, yeah. So then she goes into the forest and sees the chairman as a tree,
Yeah.
and then she's like,
Yes.
"Okay, okay, chief, got to get me out of here and got to wake me up." So she gets chased by the tree branches and she gets woken up, and then she wakes up, gets on the table, and they go and drive down to confront the chief at his mansion with the um platonic gardens at the back.
Yeah.
That all scientific chairman people have at the back of their
Yeah. Yeah.
houses. And
Yep.
she does that, goes in there with the chief and confronts the chairman. And then the chairman's sitting in his chair, and then somebody gets up and starts walking, and they're going, "Wait a minute, what?"
Oh, oh, with his tentacle legs.
With his tentacle legs. You don't know it because he's walking behind all the bushes, and then he comes to
Yeah.
front and he's
And
got tentacle legs. And it's of the tree, and it's like, what the hell's happening? And then she turns,
yeah.
and she's turned into Paprika, and then she
Yes.
turns and find that the chief has turned into Onsai,
That's right.
and then they're like, "Wait, Onsai, what are you doing here?" It's like, "Yeah, no, I'm the guardian of dreams." 'Cause this is the thing that's been actually been iterated. Everyone that's been kind of taken over is like, "Oh, we're the guardian of dreams. We're going to make sure all the dreams are safe and stuff like that," and blah 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 blah. And then she's like, "No, you're not. You've gone and done this thing, and
You're just a jerk.
yeah, you're not the Garden of Dreams, and the chairman's obviously evil type thing. You're just his henchman, stuff like that." And then
Yep.
she tries to get away from them all, and the
This
chief
is the chase scene.
is there a chase scene?
Because well, there's the bit where she like turns into a mermaid and she's like swimming
Oh yeah,
away, and then he's like
yeah,
fucking diving after her, and then Onsai's there and he's got like a big spear, and she's turned into like a
Griffin.
Griffin, and she gets like struck out the air and
Yeah.
falls into water.
Yeah, yeah. And she's watching this on his screen and he's trying to wake
Yes,
her up,
he is.
but it's failing.
That's right.
She can't wake him up. So,
Yeah, he's like pushing the button. It keeps like filling up the bar and not actually doing anything.
yeah, it's just like a Windows machine. Um,
Yeah,
and then you just go along, and then she runs into like into the building, and there's a picture. She's getting chased by onside and tentacles and shit. And there's a
yep.
picture of the Griffin and is it a hippogriff actually? Might be a hippogriff.
Hippogriff, maybe.
There's some Greek, uh,
Some creature of mythology.
yeah, and another Greek person is also involved in that. So he jumps in that because like, oh shit, I need to go immerse into the picture. And she came
Yes.
that, and the guy was like, that's a unpretty look for you. And then she says, well, you know what, you're kind of you're Sidious or something. I think she calls her because I think that's what the picture is. It's like you pretty much fit the description of that character from Greek mythology. Says on that.
I didn't get that.
It was. I don't understand it, but I assume the name was a
It's a
Greek
good. It's
mythology.
apparently a good pun.
I wouldn't say it's a pun, but a whip. Uh, and then they jump away. She gets shot down and lands in the water of lands in the water in the sea, turns into a mermaid, and then swims along, and it gets swallowed by the chairman, who's turned into the whale from Pinocchio,
Yes.
and says some
Yes.
random shit about how he's like got to be the guardian of the dreams, and
I
he,
am the Alpha and the Omega.
so,
Something along those lines.
yeah, and then she gets shot out the spout of the whale,
That's
uh,
right.
as Pinocchio,
Yes.
and is shot into the streets of the
Oh,
town that they
the
live
big
in.
the wacky parade.
Oh, the wacky parade, yeah, the parade that's been going on, where it has like
The
walking
dream parade
fridges.
that is now getting bigger.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's still in the dream world.
Yes.
It's not merged with the real world yet.
No, we're still
No,
well. Yes, we're still in the dream world. I think at this point, I know
yeah,
we are, but I can't with 100% certainty say.
yeah. And then she lands there, and I think the chairman and Onsite are on top of the throne now because they've been
Yes,
truly revealed as the people behind it
evil.
all. And she says something. Does something. Oh shit! I forgot she first goes into the dream world as a monkey on the cloud,
Oh, that's right.
and she's there in the dream world and monkey on the cloud, and
Yeah.
that's where she's kind of zared everything. It's like, oh wait, yeah, Humo's not a real thing, and she's noticed something else in the back of the dream of like a swirling sort of vortex, and then that's where she broke through the wall and went into the cocoon of Himuro and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
got to the point where we are. So now she's back in the street looking at the parade, and she goes, "It's a trap!" As monkey,
Run.
run type thing,
Yes.
and then suddenly she appears as the monkey
Pin-
figure. She's
that's
back
right.
to the monkey, and then uh, she tries to fly away and then gets engulfed in butterflies.
Yes.
And then goes cuts back to the detective who's now talking to the bartenders in the
The
bar
bartenders.
who
Yes.
are basically just saying things. Oh, you seem to be quite knowledgeable about movies and stuff. It's that, and then he goes into his backstory because every time he sees the number 17, he freaks out.
Yes.
There was another. I think this must have been the scene before this where Paprika took him down a lift and was saying, "How
To
about this
floor
floor?
17.
How about this
Yeah.
floor? Floor 17? No, we're not going to floor 17. That's our special dreams." And you all think that's from his Pervy dreams, but it's actually the killing because it then suddenly just goes and
Yes.
all the floors turn to 17 in the lift. Anyway, so 17 freaks him out and says, "Oh, 17 looks like something that freaks you out, sir." It's like, yeah, why would that be? Oh well, back in the day, I knew about. I made a movie myself. It was good. Me and
And he's
my
like, "Oh, when you were in college?" And he's like, "No,
no, when I was
when I was
17.
17." And then,
And then the shock of the 17 since realization. And then he realizes that he tells the sad story that he got jealous of his friend and ran away, essentially, who then died because he had an
his
illness.
friend, yeah, his friend was already ahead of him with everything, and he always
Hmm.
struggled to keep up. And they were making a movie together?
Yeah, they were making a
Is what
movie
I got
together.
from that.
And then he
And they
gave
never
up.
finished it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he gave up on it.
he left it at that point, and he felt bad from there. And then it kind of
Yep.
relives the film, and he's watching the film, and it's like a cop
Yes.
movie, and he was chasing the suspect, and he's seen his friend running away from him, and had the gun out and going, no. And then
Yep.
as he's watching that, he comes, he's then sees Paprika, does he end up? There's some way that dreams merge again,
Yeah,
and
there's something going on, yeah, where he ends up being able to hear Paprika, and he walks out of the bar onto the main street,
yeah,
and it's a load of cinemas again, except this time there's a movie called Paprika.
yeah, that's it. So before it all happens, you find that Parika is now kind of pinned to a table
Oh yeah, as a
in a
butterfly,
as a butterfly in a butterfly um like
like what you would do if a butterfly was dead. They like pin them into a
yeah,
case, and it's like her wings are pinned down, and she's been pinned not like through the arms or anything, but yeah, she's basically been pinned down.
yeah, and then Onsai is there going, ha ha, I kind of liked you type thing, and then starts feeling her
Yeah,
up
he's like,
essentially
"Hey, I'm a massive perv," and then very much just gropes her, and then
because he's
then
jealous, because he's jealous,
yes, he
because
is
he's always
because
like,
he's not
what?
smart enough.
And what are you seeing that guy? What are you seeing Tokito?
Yeah,
And it's like, what? He's a genius. And then basically, yeah, he just kind of gropes and then just immerses his hand
he
into the skin.
gives her the worst massage ever.
Yeah, it's just like and this is she's so Paprika's still Paprika, and
Yep,
then kind of
he
drags
just
his hand up.
cuts her skin right through the front. It's actually really horrifying, but really
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, because his hand kind of immerses in, and he kind of drags it all the way up to her face, and you can see it underneath her skin. And then suddenly he kind of just pulls it out and splits her in half because he likes Chibo, Chiba.
Yep, I will say, you and I have got every name wrong this evening several times.
Oh, there's a shock.
I think one of the things I will do at some point is make a supercut of every time we've said a name wrong.
Oh Jesus, man! Seriously.
Be about an hour and a half long
No, it'll be two, over two
of
hours.
just names.
It's like Chiba, Chibu, Chiba,
Chabu, Chabu,
Chibu, Tico,
Chabu.
Tonto. I'm sure I called someone Tonto at
I
one
don't think
point.
it's that.
Um,
But yeah, so she's now. It's sort of it's almost a little bit metaphoric again because of course like she was a butterfly.
mhm.
It is a little bit like she's being cut from her chrysalis, and
Oh yeah,
there's a little
yeah.
bit of symbolism there. It's in reverse, which is weird, but yeah, like there's Chiba, who is now naked and unconscious
Hmm. She's
and
also
in the arms of a massive pervert.
yeah. She also kind of say that Paprika and Chibu is is or how personalities are completely different.
Yes, it's why she has done it almost deliberately. It would seem because it allows for her to be a different person.
Yeah,
Each like her ability to go into dreams. That's why she's not Chiba in dreams. She is Paprika. She's different.
yeah.
Did you now? Here's the thing.
Hmm.
I was like, I'm sure I know the English voice actress uh for for Paprika. It's really bothering me. And then eventually I look her up and I'm like, oh, I recognize that name.
Uh-huh.
What is it she does? She's the voice of Amy Rose in Sonic Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like I say the one I watched on Netflix and Netflix only has
Uh,
the dub.
I've got the Blu-ray, which has the both.
Yeah. Um it's Amy Rose, is it? Jesus.
Yep.
Anyway. Um yeah, so she gets basically deskinned.
Fully full body degloved.
Yeah. Oh,
It's the bit where he's like pulling her out and like her arms are coming out of the skin, the arm sacs.
yeah.
You're like,
It's,
oh, this is
oh,
horrible.
it's just the fact that
Oh
you used the
no.
word decloved, man. Decloved is horrible.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
yeah. Don't look it up,
It's like
guys.
don't yeah, don't that's a
Yeah.
bad Google search.
Uh,
I also don't do full body degloving. I don't think that's a thing, but just in case. Actually, I'm pretty sure that was in Silent Hill, the movie. So
full body
yeah,
decloving.
yes.
I imagine it probably is. I mean, it's
That's,
I imagine it's also in other movies like Hellraiser's probably got something like that in it.
well, no, Hellraiser definitely does, but it's like you don't see the skin come off, do you? It's really difficult. I can't
It's
remember. It's Uncle Frank who writes on the wall, "Help me, this is hell."
all right, Uncle Frank. Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah. So anyway, she gets decloved, and then he pulls her out, and she's kind of struggling with him, and then the detective's like watching the movie, seeing it all happen, and he's like, "Wait, Paprika, da
and
da
he
da,"
pushes through the.
and you kind of see him stretching there, and Onsai and the chairman have a big argument. The chairman comes out his shoulder, and then starts kind of like
Oh wait, that's right, because he's like, "Well,
hentai
she needs to
hentai
die now."
tentacles. Yeah, hentai
Yeah, and
tentacles.
he's like, "She got to die now, so I'm gonna like put some tentacles down her throat
Yeah,
and cup a boob,
yeah, and
because
Onsai is
that's
like,
important. It's very important."
yeah, Onsai is like, no, we can't be doing this. I love her, type thing.
Yeah,
And he's like,
he's pleading.
shut up.
Shut
This,
up.
we
Gotta
can't be doing
choke
this.
her.
We gotta
She
get
needs to
rid of her.
die.
She needs to die. And then Chief basically bursts through the screen into the movie, and then knocks them down and
Yep.
steals Chief. And she's like, "Oh wait, I knew you were her," type thing, and then
Yep.
runs out the cinema, and then the chief himself talks to them and say, "Bonsoir, bonsoir." I can't remember his fucking name. Anyway, the detective, Konnichiwa,
Konakawa.
Konakawa. It's like, yeah, you gotta do it. What are you doing in this dream? It's like, what are you doing as a monkey, chief? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
You gotta
You
get
got,
out.
you got. Where am I going? Go to your dream.
Yep. You have missed the bit where the fight continues inside between Osanai and the chairman, and he like basically kills Osanai, and he just bursts into a bunch of blue butterflies.
Yeah, it does do that. He
And then
takes over that
after
presence.
yeah, after the detective runs away like back to his dream, we see the blue butterflies bursting out through the cinema doors.
Yeah, a give chase. Yeah, you're
Yep.
right. Anyway, so the detective goes into his dream and goes through all the heroics and
Yep. The Tarzan shit.
yeah. Uh, and it's I don't know, is it at least the one where he's getting strangled by the bootlace and Shubu's out and it was Onsai in that and he actually goes, "This is my dream," and like gives him an elbow in the ribs and then beats him up and then
Yep.
they disappear into the hotel because oh
It's
shit, yeah,
this
yeah,
is the bit where it cut. This is where it cuts back to the fallen guy, the murder victim,
Mhm.
and he sees the guy running away, and he's like, "Not this time!" and like holds up the gun and puts one straight in his back.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of cool because it's this bright white glow through the door that the
Mhm.
guy's running, and as he's sort of like he's falling, and Usunai is falling down because he's the one that's been shot,
Mhm.
and he's like, "Oh, that's the pain is real," and then he just kind of gets like sucked down into the nothingness, and it just goes black immediately. It's really cool.
Yeah. Well, I did gloss over that at one point. Yeah, I must have missed one of the therapy sessions where he's there and they get to the screen and then he goes and sees himself on the other side, looking at himself, looking over the dead body, and then
Yes,
realizing that the dead body is him. And he's like, why have I
yes,
shot myself? And then that's when he starts kind of remembering the other person who was like him was his friend from
yes,
the past, and that's how all that
yes.
goes down.
That's what it is.
Uh,
But basically, then we cue the credits for his movie, and he like ends it James Bond style, and he's got the gun up, and it goes
yeah, yeah,
fire.
that's it over type
Yep,
thing, and then kisses the
and
girl.
then yeah, she's an unconscious woman,
Yeah,
and he
who
just
then
goes for it.
like, who's kind of waking up in the dream, and then literally wakes up
Wakes up.
and slaps the chief right in the face and knocks him down as he's trying to wake her up. And then I think
It's good.
yeah, then does it cut back to the detective in his office, closing down the
Y-
web
y-
browser and going
yes,
and that's it finally over. And kind of turns around and looks at the window
yes.
and sees all shit is broken loose in the real world.
The dream parade has arrived.
Yeah, but
I do like the conversation between the chief and Chiba because uh, she says, "Do you think we're still in the dream?" And he's like, "I don't know." This is pretty sore.
yeah, I think
He's got
that's
like a full hand imprint on his face.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He does. And then they're like, okay, so we know who the culprits are now, so we've got to go and confront them. And then they walk along over in their lab space with a big balcony. Was it?
It's a walkway between two buildings that goes over a road. It's a glass one.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
then
then
and then they just look out and there's just this huge doll face going like, "Hello."
oh no, no shit. Yeah. Wait, no. This is after so basically Onsai and the chairman are in a bed somewhere, and Onsai wakes up with the bullet wound, and it gets sucked into a
Oh,
big black hole.
you're right. He wakes up and Osanai is falling headfirst into this void, bleeding out.
Yeah,
Uh,
when it
and he's like,
hurts.
"No, don't go." He's like, "No, you can't leave. I need your shit. Get back
Yeah,
here."
yeah,
He's like, "I've got you. Don't worry about it. I need your body."
yeah, yeah. And then he gets sucked
And
into
then
the hole.
he gets sucked into it as well. And then we see Ghost Osanai just before this bit, who like materialize because you see his bloody hand going
Oh
across the
yeah,
gore. It's
yeah,
actually kind of cool. And then he materializes like partially, and he's like, uh,
and
and just falls through her.
falls through Chiba,
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 we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Chiba.
Yeah, then they make their way out of there, and they're going across the glass bit, and then there's the big doll. It's like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, yeah. And then just like smashes through it,
It
and
just goes,
I think
and all the glass goes.
I think they just kind of walk along talking about things, and then they kind of look outside, and the things there and going, and there starts like a high pitched scream at them in a
It's
weird noise,
horrifying.
and then they run away to another. get across the walkway, and
and it
then
just starts.
uh, never seen this. Never seen because then
It just starts like
I think it's that scene, and then it cuts to the detective turning around, going, "Yes, it's over." Looks out and goes, "What the
yeah.
fuck?"
Oh shit! No, it's not.
Yeah, and then it cuts back to them walking through the other part of the building, and the face disappears again, and this starts going,
It's,
and then Chief falls down, and
yep.
Chiba is saving the chief, and then Paprika appears, and they're
Sorry.
like, "What the hell?
Uh,
Paprika's here. How you get here? It doesn't matter now. We should go out and run." And it's like, okay.
yep.
And then there was a news broadcast happening saying, "Is this a dream or reality?" type thing.
They
And
jump through the TV out
yeah,
of the news camera. They're
yeah.
like, "Oh shit, this is weird."
And then it's like there's another scene where you kind of get like businessmen all kind of doing like a wee
Oh,
sideways
kind of going
swan dive.
la 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 la
Yeah,
la.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like there's just kind of like there's a good like 2 or 3 minutes of just focusing on the dream parade and
Mhm.
just all the batshit craziness that's going on. Because
And
there's
people
also a guy at
is
the top going, "I'm your leader. I'm the one. I'm the chosen one," and then a load of people climbing up on him going, "We didn't choose you. Boo, boo,"
yeah,
and they
because
like punch him
so
down.
but they got like the I think it starts on like the rooftops and watch these people kind of like doing like the what do you call it? The kind of like synchronized and swimming kind of like dance where people jump
Yeah,
off into
yeah,
the
yeah.
pool sideways. Only they're kind of falling to their deaths. Or not, because it's this world of Paprika where you
It's the
don't.
dream parade. Who knows?
Yeah. And then there's like people that kind of just kind of wander into the parade and then turn into musical instruments. There's some other more
Yes.
people who are kind of walking and then turn into like the good luck happy cat things that they have.
Oh yeah, gold,
Yeah.
gold and happy.
And then there's like a guy saying one of those things, yeah. One of those things. Uh, I think it was actually just Golden Buddhas. And then it's like
There were, yeah.
something like a guy basically campaigned to say, if you want me as your mayor, please vote by putting something through my missing eye hole or something. And then it comes up to the point where the person's where the people climb up the mountain saying, "I didn't let you," type thing, but I am your
Yep.
mayor. No,
It's
and
very weird.
it all goes weird. And then so that Paprika kind of jumps through the thing. The detective is standing on a rooftop with the two barmen that he's having the
The
drinks with.
barmen are now corporeal and ready to rock.
Yeah, and say, here, you've left these things at our bar. And
Oh, it was
hand,
his cigarettes.
yeah,
Yeah.
his fags and
He's
lighter.
like, oh, yeah, okay.
No, cheers. And then I think it cuts to the scene where it's Save and Paprika goes, okay, we'll do this. And then there's like weather report saying, oh yes, and it's going to be a dreamy, sunny day. And she kind of dances in the weather report. And then there's a news report going on in the streets saying how everything's kind of fucked up and is it a dream? And then Paprika pops through the camera into the street and goes, maybe it is. Then
Yep.
Chiba does it, and then Chief
And
then
the chief.
follows.
And then the doll.
And then the doll does follow. The massive uh, three-story high doll
Yep.
appears. And like, oh, okay. And then they see Tokita, the
Yeah,
robot.
they see Takita. And he's like, ha, there you are.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. I don't think he's noticed anything. No, he does. He shoots the doll with his missiles in his
He
chest.
does. It's pretty sweet. Like,
The barrage of missiles like appear out of nowhere and like, obliterate the doll. It's like,
and then I'm sure he goes on about, oh, paprika. Everything tastes better with paprika.
yeah, could agree. It's basically they split up them. Chiba basically has an
Yeah.
argument with Paprika going, no, I need to do this. I need to go and speak to um I need to
Need
go and
speed to Takita.
to
We
Kita.
can't just leave him behind,
Yeah,
is what she says.
I need to but
Uh
Paprika, no, we got to go and speak to the chairman. And then they have the wee argument of like who's the boss of who. And then
yeah. Oh, is it? Why do you think you're the one that's real? What if I'm the one that's real?
Yeah,
Fuck you.
yeah, pretty much. And then Chiba runs away, and
Yep.
Parik and the chief jump through to a picture to go across to get to the chief's place.
Very big moth on my window.
All right, on your
Jesus Christ, it was huge.
yeah, it's about that time of year, I suppose.
Also the big light and
Yeah,
the darkness and the big wide open window.
yeah, yeah. You do live out in the middle of nowhere.
Sure do.
Anyway, so Shiba then kind of manages to catch up with big giant robot Tukita,
Yep.
and basically goes, "Yo, Tukita, it's me. You got to snap out of it." And it says, "Oh yeah, I recognize you. You're great." And then talks about milk and shit, and swallows her whole.
Yeah.
And then goes, "Oh, it seems to be missing a bit of spice. Paprika."
I
And
need
then
paprika.
I need paprika. And then yeah, so he basically goes hunting paprika. So they jump through a picture, drive a boat to another picture, get to like this bit, and see like this big, massive black hole. Uh,
Yeah, this is the bit I was talking about, sort of Inception. I know it's like not like a city bent over or anything like that, but it's like this huge cityscape with distorted angles and things like that. Also, I should point out, I read earlier very briefly while I was checking something else up. Turns out this is actually based on a graphic novel, like a comic,
yeah.
or just a novel.
Mm, all right.
It was released in 4 parts, starting in January '91. Oh
Oh,
wow, no, it was just a book, and then there was a manga adaptation in '95, but not published until 2003. The novel was adapted as an animated film in 2006. So there you go. So the ideas for this go back even further. So potentially that could have actually influenced Lane as well.
yeah. I suppose it's. You know what to say though about stories, man.
There's nothing original anymore.
There's only 8 original stories or something like that.
Well,
All everything's
anyway,
just based off a storytelling of some sort.
yeah.
It's like,
But yeah,
uh,
he's now on the hunt for Paprika, and they have Paprika and the chief have where have they gone?
what they kind of get to an area of the town where the detective and the bartenders are. Uh,
Oh, that's right.
and they're like,
Because
yeah, and
wait, do they not? They're stood at the end of a street,
yeah, on a
and they
rooftop.
turn round. No, like Chiba and no, sorry, Paprika and the chief. Are they not like in the bottom of street level? And they turn around and go, "Oh, he hasn't seen us yet. I wonder." And it's Takita, and he just goes like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and like
Tequila
full
appears.
on, yeah, he just like
Yeah,
starts bailing towards them.
yeah. Parika, I need Parika.
And then the bartenders jump into action.
Yeah, they kind of fly in with a banner and cover the eyes of Tukita's big giant robot face, who then just makes him essentially run straight into
And
a
jump straight into a
building,
building.
and he
It's
can't
pretty
get
good.
out. Uh,
He cannot.
And then a big giant Chiba appears, and
Yeah, a ghost Chiba,
yeah, a ghost giant
because
Chiba.
she's been eaten
Yeah, she got eaten.
by Takita, but
Yeah,
now she's a big ghost Chiba, and she helps the big robot Takita out of the building and falls back, and it sort of flashes back to that elevator scene.
yeah. Slashes back to the elevator scene, and they're saying basically saying, "Oh yeah, Yeah, I kind of having some lovely, or he has a lovely, she has basically saying some things to him, like how she actually loves the guy.
She does. She's like, "You're really fat. You don't know how to eat. You're so smart though, and you're a lovely person, but you're covered in a lot of stuff." And he's like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, yeah, I guess I am."
something
Oh
like,
man, the rain's back on.
yeah, that's what we need to read the rain after all that heat.
Oh, it has gotten heavy. Anyway, yeah, they kind of have that kind of embrace, and they just she fades away, and he
Yeah,
just goes
yeah, falls
falls
back.
back.
Yeah, um, and then what happens anyway?
Uh,
So there's a big
hang
giant.
on. This is where this is where all of a sudden the chairman's like, "Hey, I'm like a big void man now.
Yeah, and
Check me out. I'm the bad genie from Aladdin."
pretty much, and he's like destroying the city, saying it's going to be
Yeah.
merged and stuff like that, and then um, oh, that's right, that's what happens. Yeah, so he appears and says like, "We're going to merge everything together. Everything's going to become one. I'm going to be the king of it all," type thing. So Decker
Yep.
kind of like sways the buildings, just exploding, as he
He
waves his
just like
arms.
points like in some sort of dance move, and then like all the line where his hand went, all the buildings explode. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then Paprika's like, "Ah, I need to do something," and then kind of merges with Chiquita,
Yes.
and
And
then
then
suddenly,
reemerges as a baby.
a baby child comes in because the void man's kind of like blowing people around. So the
Yeah.
child appears at the big robot's chest and starts sucking in all the voidness.
Everything. Yeah.
Just the voidness, just the corruption that the chairman has created. And
Yeah.
then grows a bit, and then
Yeah.
gets
I
closer.
don't. I don't. I wonder if the comment is similar in this one because it's the chief and the detective who are on the ground,
Hmm.
and so who is that? And he's like, "It's a girl. That's all I can tell from here
Yeah,
because it's a big naked woman."
eventually. Yep.
Yeah.
I
At the
mean,
point he says it, it's very much not a woman, which is a bit disturbing.
it's the birth of an entity coming out of
Uh,
Takita and
anyway, yeah, she's
Paprika,
inhaling all the badness,
and she's also
and just
goes a bit
continues to
light
do so.
because Paprika, I think, states something along the lines of like, or Chief or something. We're going about how light and darkness, blah blah, man and woman. It's like, see ya, and then
Yeah,
she goes and turns into like yin or yang, whichever one is the light one.
yeah.
It's a bit of a yin yang concept here because it's a light embodiment of light. He's the embodiment of
I thought
darkness.
I thought the whole point of yin and yang though was that the one can't exist without the other, and that there's equilibrium.
Oh
And
yeah,
yet she absorbs all of the other, but and it's like, well, the badness is gone now.
yeah, pretty much. He's basically sat, and I think he basically goes, "What you doing?" And
He like grabs her skull,
yeah,
tries to crush her head.
and then she just sucks his arm in and just
Yep.
basically sucks it all away into her,
And
and
he's
she
like,
grows into
no,
big
fuck.
body.
She's like a combination of Chiba and Paprika at the end, I think, is the kind of
Chiba, Paprika, and what's his name?
I guess Tokita.
Chiquita, because she's got big
Um
appetite.
yeah.
Um,
And then that's the end of the bad stuff.
yeah, and
The day has been won.
back to reality. I think there's a comment by the text that so is everything back to normal? And the chief, I'm pretty sure, says, I guess. Something along
It's
those
like
lines.
I don't know.
I
I don't know.
don't know the fuck happened. It's
Yeah.
In fact, no, they don't say anything because they're just in awe as the viewers watching this thing, just guzzling the void. It's like,
Yeah,
what did we just watch?
it is mad.
It's literally the same expression. If you're the first time watching this, watching whatever this thing's happened, and you're just like, what? And that's the same expression those characters have. Of like, what?
What the fuck is happening in this?
What is this? This is uh. So yeah, the day's been won. Um, they go back. Chiba wakes up Tokito and basically he goes, "Oh, I had a great dream," and then she says, "So did I." Uh,
And she's like, I really needed a good dream.
yeah, I hadn't dreamt in a while. Is what I
Yeah,
got in sub. Um, and then it cuts there, and then the chief goes back to the bar website, and they basically see the barman all like
plastered up.
bandaged
Yeah.
up in arms and casts and stuff because of their heroicness of jumping off a building. Um, and basically it says, "Oh, you got a message for Paparika," and it reads out, it's like, "Hey, yeah, um, I got to say that my last name is
Oh no, it's that Chiba's last name is changing to
Tokito."
Tokita.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, so they're gonna get married. That's nice. And he's like, oh, that's good. Um, and uh, I think she then says like, oh, and I know we were talking about movies, and I really recommend watching the movie Dreaming Kids.
Mhm.
It's a good one.
Yeah. And then goes there. So then that's when he goes and to the cinema, and this is where you see the Easter egg of Tokyo Godfathers.
Yeah, Tokyo Godfathers, Perfect Blue, and Millennium Actress. So it's Satoshi Kon's other three films.
Was it all his three films? Was it? I only know the
Yeah,
stuff was Godfather, and that was the last one. And it's oh
but yeah, Perfect Blue was the first one. Millennium Actress was in the middle. The only one we haven't watched now of his movies is Millennium Actress. So
yeah, um. So yeah, and then he goes there, and I think maybe ends there. Yeah, sure, there's a comment about
uh,
something about how he wanted to, how he's upset that his girlfriend has disappeared or something. I don't know. Sure, there's some weird concept like that.
he comments to the chief, or the chief comments to him about being single or something like that. Again, weirdly, it's just such a weird comment.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, yep, okay, I guess, whatever.
yeah. I think that's mainly because the way Parika plays herself.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
her personality is very outgoing, would be the word.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, the
Flirtatious.
movie ends with him actually buying the ticket.
Yeah, he actually goes and watches the movie.
One ticket for Dreaming Kids, please.
One
And then the
adult
movie
ticket
ends.
for
One
Dreaming
adult
Kids.
ticket
Yeah, because he's not buying it for a kid,
because he's an adult.
because he's an adult. Yeah, and the movie ends, and that's it. That's
Wow,
the convoluted. Is it any clearer
that
to you now?
was like little bits of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, uh, hmm. How do you rate this movie, Colin?
How they rate it? It's all right. I mean, I kind of get what you're saying. It's too all over the place, but I think at the same time it's maybe too all over the place because
Totally.
it's all about how 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 we perceive reality and dreams and
Absolutely.
how
And
close they are
it's sort of
together.
the same as Perfect Blue in that way, where it's supposed that the way the movie is put together is designed to keep you guessing about what is real, what is not, what's actually happening. And like I appreciate that. I think it's just that because the topic and the themes of Perfect Blue were quite grounded in reality, it
Yeah.
was easy to see. It was easier to understand where the dreams had been and where they weren't, or where the confusion was and where it wasn't. Whereas in this one, because everything is so fucked up all the time, even when there's dreams and when there's not,
Mm-hmm.
it's just it's very difficult to follow. Uh,
Yeah. Well, that's it. I
it's
mean,
not it's not bad. Like I should be very clear there. Like there's not a world where this is a bad movie.
oh, it's not a terrible movie. It's certainly entertaining. It's I think the best way to probably compare it to anything that we've watched and talked about on the podcast would be Lane. I think Lane's the
Yeah,
most almost the most disjointed thing that we've ever really watched in
yeah.
comparison.
It definitely liked to play a lot with
Yeah,
the confusion of reality and not,
I
or the
mean,
wired.
yeah, and then you always have Suzumiya, but
Yeah, I mean,
that's a different confusion. That's just because they decide to tell the story in random
yeah.
ways. Um,
There's not again like it's not as an A to B. It's not that confusing. Like thing happened, stolen, bad things happened as a result. We find out who did it. We find out why they did it, and then we stop it. It's just the visualization and the paths that we do to get there that make that a little more difficult to interpret.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, still really liked it. Um,
it's,
still really liked it.
it's enjoyable. Enjoyable.
Has shares a character designer with Princess Mononoke and Spirited Away and Your Name.
Yeah.
Yep,
I wonder why they went with the chief in his wheelchair, the chairman in the wheelchair though, and the chief
as the
being a
bad
wee
guy.
midget. Yeah.
I don't know.
What have they got against people that can't walk, man?
I don't know. It seems almost cliche at this point, like from even like oh fuck is the name of the game?
Well, fight.
No.
Streets of Rage. No, you
Uh,
could walk.
uh,
Those Final Fight you
what's
can
it
walk.
called? The one that's like Twin Peaks.
One
Deadly
that.
Premonition.
All right, yeah.
There's
Well, that's
like
a
the
meme on
evil
itself.
guy in a wheelchair thing in that too. But what do you rate it then? How do you rate it?
I'm going to say an 8.
I completely agree. I think like art direction and visualization and just like everything about it visually and audibly is quite stunning. Like it's incredible to look at.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't bored watching it.
No.
But like I say, I struggled. Whereas like I think like the difference for me is it was a little too surrealist for me at certain points,
Uh huh.
and that made following the story more difficult. It's not like a that means it's bad. It's more a for me very personally that made that a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. It was definitely.
But we did
Def.
it.
Yeah.
We've
Definitely.
covered our third Satoshi Kon,
Satoshi Kon.
and we'll cover Millennium Actress at some point, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Um, Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
that being the end, just to remind everyone that we'll be back next week
Mm-hmm.
with the first episode from our season 11, which is going to be Elfin Lied, which is very exciting.
Oh yeah.
Looking forward to going through that. Um, yeah, so we'll be back then.
Yeah,
We did
next
it.
week. Yeah.
In which case, Who's That Anime is an anime podcast and can be found where all good podcasts can be found. Um, our home is at anchor.fm/ Who's That Anime. We don't really make any money from this. There's no advertising. There'll never be any advertising in this show. But if you like what it is we do, then reviews are super cool and help with the algorithm, the almighty algorithm, in positioning us for other people to find. If you can't review us or already have reviewed us, but you still want to help, then it would be great if you told a friend about what it is we do and shared that way. We have a Facebook page, that's facebook.com/ Who's the Anime, where we post the latest episode releases and occasionally some anime memes. We have a Discord. The link to that is in the show notes. We also have a YouTube channel where Colin painstakingly puts together the video versions of these episodes. That can be found at youtube.com. And if you search for the channel at Who's That Anime, it should show up for you. Colin and I occasionally like to play video games. Colin at
Occasionally.
twitch.tv/couchfuel, very occasionally, and myself at twitch.tv/hail payman. You can find us playing games live sometimes, but in the event that we're not live, there's also YouTube channels, both of these, where you can find the archives of all of our gameplay sessions. That you can find those at youtube.com, and if you search for at couchfuel or at hail payman. And that's
Yeah.
us.
Cool. All right.
We'll be back.
Yeah.
We did it.
Same army time, same army place.
Peace out.
Peace out. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.